Who could have guessed that a home that went missing 15 years ago would be so relevant in a case of kidnappings that occurred in a town that I just happened to be going to? It sort of strained suspension of disbelief a little bit. But that's not important. No. What's important is going and beating up an evil bookbinder over in Stoneguard. And although I could make the full walk over there from Quarry Crest, we've already kind of seen this entire area. So instead, let's start at Cobblestone. No, Rippletide. I think you can see very clearly what the theming of each of the names are right now. Quarry Crest, Ore Town, Cobblestone, Stoneguard. Yeah, it all is very thematically consistent. Let's just say that. Well, anyway. So I haven't really shown off the entire track down here, but it also should not be too long, just because I still do have evasive maneuvers on here. It's also a good showing of just how much more powerful I am since the last episode. Look, everybody here has been pumping a lot of iron, fighting a lot of dudes. Everything is pretty much maxed out for each one of the jobs, and Ulbrich even has a new job. He is now a hunter to give him an extra weapon to attack and break guards with, because as always, having as many different types of attacks on as many different characters as possible is probably the best way to be able to break enemies' guards. And Hunter, as one of their skills, also gets the ability to hit multiple times with a bow, so even though Tressa, I guess, technically does have, is this where I want to go? Not quite. So even though Tressa does also use a bow, it's much easier for Ulbrich to hit multiple times compared to her. And besides, it's just more characters with that also means more hits. It's just really just try to get everybody having as many different types of weapons as possible. Now then, into the inn, and let's start up this story. Which, once again, why was it 15 years ago? It didn't seem like it entirely needed to be 15. If it was last year or something, then I can believe that, okay, yeah, it took a little while to set up the blood magic circle and everything in the previous town, but here it's no, the amount of time this book has been missing can almost get its driver's license, so, or at the very least can get its learner's permit, so it's weird that now it feels like they're starting to make their move. Whoever the mysterious people, probably that cloaked person that's been following me around here, is actually planning to do with From the Far Reaches of Hell. Yeah, real sprawling. Real huge. Oh, man. Each one of these cities is just you can get lost in, wandering around for days. Oh, yeah. It's a wonder they were able to put 20 of them in the game. Okay. Enough of sarcasm. You know how RPG towns work. Oh, I say enough sarcasm as if I'm going to stop ever. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go look for the big green plus on the map. The bindery. That's a bindery. That's a bindery if I've ever seen one. Also, yeah, they did this whole fade out thing when you can actually see the building in the upper right corner right now.
Very well.
Oh, if only just waited one more second. Anyway, I suppose it's not that important. They already know about the guy there. Let's talk about that in the last episode with Ulbrich. Indeed. Now it's time for Cyrus to do what Cyrus does best. Size up people's ages. Age 34. Been working at the bindery for quite some... Okay, yeah. East part of town. Well, I mean, with the sheer size of Stoneguard, it's east part of town could be describing any number of different houses. Although it's right there. There it is. And I said that I was going to stop the sarcasm.
Excuse me. My apologies.
You in there binding evil books? Or
A moment,
you did that
your
15
time.
years ago?
Be gone with you.
Well, back to doing what Cyrus does best. Again, scrutinizing people. And although since I've been to this town before, I have already scrutinized a lot of the population. The people that you need to talk to do the quest does require a... Well, it requires you to do it again, because basically these people don't have something new to say until this point. Hi. Well, tell me. Tell me what's going on. Daughter succumbed to sickness. Because, as always, we have the absolutely incredible detective work that is going to be coming up here soon, too.
'Tis the merry truth.
Translation commission earned him a fortune. So, daughter, remorse about a translation he did, and then one more from you.
The truth is,
Sold some medicine about 15 years ago.
very well.
Well, I think that should be everything we need here. Also, for scrutinizing each one of the town members, here's one of the items that I get. Appears on the map as a... Hey, how tough are you to fight, by the way? Oh. They're actually like... The level requirement for some people does not necessarily reflect how tough they are. It just... Sometimes you have, like, 2 or 3 pip characters that require you to be, like, level 70 for whatever reason. I think it's different for each one of the characters. That, like, some of them... Yeah, I think I said in the first episode that some of them have, like, an easier time scrutinizing versus inquiring, or provoking versus challenging. And I guess that's one of the characters that you're better off provoking compared to using Ulbrich's special. Daughter. Translating a book. I mean, there's a very clear through line for this story.
But of course. Thusly. Yes.
Well, I mean, the 3 people directly outside of your house, more or less.
Now then.
And I have and even though I have a tendency to beat up scholars, as we've seen in the last 2 chapters, it's just like, this is finally the first time that we're deciding not to just beat up the first learned man that we see here. Oh, don't worry, we're still going to be doing that. There's only 4 chapters in an entire thing here, and every one of them do have like a dungeon and a boss, so none of these are resolved through talking alone.
Many thanks. Listen. In truth,
Of course he was a scholar, because, yeah, we are going to be beating up more scholars. Don't worry about that. Also, his blade was probably as sharp as a blade, as we'll see in his eventual boss fight.
what? What's in there?
Mm-hmm. Now, as with every good Scooby-Doo mysteries, it's not that much of a surprise who it turns out to be. Actually, this line right here narrows it down quite a bit.
It couldn't be. Yes. Ah, yes. In truth.
Well, I suppose, it does make sense. He was the only other one with access to the archives in the first place. The funny thing is that we could have just solved the mystery from the very first part of the game.
Is that so?
Sort of.
Yes. Yes.
Well, unfortunately, they were already falling into the wrong hands, as it turns out.
Leave it to me. You have my thanks.
Hey,
Come now.
it's me. Yes, the entire time. From Chapter 1, speaking of which.
Just so.
I don't know if Cyrus can also see the camera, but,
Call me Lucia.
Greetings.
I apologize.
I mean, you've
In
been
truth.
asking everybody in every town you've gone to a bunch of questions about it. Not too much of a surprise here. Involving blood magic, which, I don't know, blood is like life. You need it to live. Just because is it really that evil just because it's not supposed to appear outside of your body?
Yes.
I don't know. I think people maybe are too hard on blood magic, really. You can withdraw blood from people without it being fatal. I donate blood all the time. But anyway, more importantly here.
Indeed.
Correct.
Wow, what another pretty big coincidence, as it turns out.
Yes.
Why don't they just tie that one into the storyline? Like, oh yeah, he used to be my neighbor or something. So I knew I could trust him. In fact, it's kind of weird to think that, Yvonne has as we're going to see here, a gigantic manor basically just to the north of this area. And Dominic couldn't remember his name. I guess it's a very sprawling city now, isn't it?
I see.
Correct.
Directly up the staircase, as it turns out. I don't know why I'm being so hard on them for this. It's gonna be the theme of the episode, I suppose.
Shall we begin?
Thank you.
Okay. Well, here, what do we got for the
Pardon me.
for the skit here? Oh, we kind of had stuff to do. Add Bart? Add Bart. Okay, then, sure. By the way, every one of these areas is blocked off by a gigantic wooden sign the first time that you get here. It's immersion breaking in a lot of ways. Not that bothers me too much, but it is kind of funny to see that it's like, yeah, there's a big house here, but it's like, you walk up to the big wooden sign, they're like, I shouldn't be here right now. Come back later. In another character storyline. Or in this storyline. But, wait a little bit. Well, that was, predictable.
Oh! Where? What is this place?
Ah, Professor Albright. I apologize for this little ruse.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere. So, we meet again, Headmaster Yvonne.
We actually know each other quite well. This meeting again makes it seem... okay.
When I heard you were looking into from the far reaches of hell, I knew your search would lead you here. And sure enough, you didn't disappoint me. Your mind is every bit as sharp as I thought it was.
You sent Lucia to keep an eye on me.
What a shame, my dear boy. A thirst for knowledge like yours would be such a terrible thing to waste. So, what do you say? Apprentice yourself to me, and I will overlook your little trespasses.
How kind of you. I refuse. I am, shall we say, philosophically opposed to your stance on knowledge. I believe that knowledge should be shared, not hoarded for one's personal gain.
I thought you'd say as much. Most unfortunate, Cyrus. Most unfortunate. As you know, this is my house, and I don't get many callers these days. A smart man like you knows what this means, yes? When you starve to death here, no one will be the wiser.
Nope, certainly not. But what are you going to do without anybody to scrutinize? Hey, Cyrus? Kind of your entire thing, you know? Well, first off, there is this chest that appeared that gives me a bone. Yep. That's a bone. Anyway, let's wait.
Professor? Are you okay?
Yes, through my own wits and cunning, I was able to get out of there.
Actually...
I didn't actually leave the room, as it turns out. I was sitting here also waiting the entire time.
Reese. You think you can get away with this?
Huh. Well, anyway. Make for the cellars. And I do believe that just requires me to kind of go through the entirety of the mansion to get down there. And although there are a whole bunch of things that I can go get, I don't know. As I've said before, I don't really think the... Where am I actually going here? I don't really think that it's that important to get out each one of the treasure chests right now. Is there...
Let us fight with honor.
Oh, there's a bunch more scholars here. I told you. Scholars, man.
Well then...
There's a lot of them, and a lot of them here to beat up. The headmaster has more than just Lucia at his command, apparently. And yet, despite, you know, the whole thing about scholars being very much... There we are. Being very much more about casting spells and everything, they're still insisting on just attacking me. Which works out in my favor. Come on.
What to do?
I'm not super over-leveled for this area, but I feel like I should be taking them out at least relatively quickly right now. Here, you know what? I still have all of these, like, stones. Maybe we'll just use, like, some medium ones or whatever. Yeah, that's probably a more effective way to... Bloodstone? Gasp. Just use this kind of like a generic attack here. But hey, at least that gives you a bit of an explanation as to what they're actually trying to do right now.
My turn now.
With these things. Yeah, just come on.
Sacred flames shine forth.
Alright. And then we just do this. And that'll take him out too. And the funny thing is that teleport that Yvonne did is the exact same as when you defeat enemies. So, make of that what you will. Well, just leave. I mean, I'll keep that in mind for later stuff. Wow, just like 2,000 gold money right there, eh? Anyway, where am I actually going? Oh, I somehow didn't see that there's stairs here. That's embarrassing. Don't worry, I'll cut out like 1 minute of video here at this point. Oh boy. It's like it's a cellar. You would think that would be Very obvious. And once again, all the most generic enemies in the game are, for some reason, lamps. And that includes, like, super powerful high-level lamps that have, like, big suits of armor and stuff. What a weird, like, theming for the game. I don't think it ever really comes up or anything either. It's not like, you know, hey, the lamps are an important part of Ostera and its history or something like that. It's just like, no, it's just lamps. Here, tell me what are the actual weaknesses? Flame. Okay, they're supposed to be. Yeah, right. They have like colors based on what the flame head thing of them are.
I will cut
Forgot about that. Different elements and all that. Much as I probably shouldn't have spent all that time. Well, I spent all that BP, you know, getting the info on this. I should be able to take these guys out easy enough. Feels like it should be easier though, but whatever, it's fine. I mean, I guess I keep saying it's like I'm only slightly over-prepared for this dungeon. I was like, you know, 6 or 7 levels ahead. Yeah, patience. That's another really good hunter ability. 25% chance of just getting an extra turn. Yeah. But, yeah, previously I was fairly overpowered. This time I'm just pretty overpowered. Mostly overpowered. Second serving, another really good hunter skill. One of those things that I think makes it really... There we go. One of the things that I think that makes it really, really worthwhile... Really worthwhile class to use, if only just to get their secondary abilities like that. Even after I changed him out from being a hunter eventually, I still kept the hunter class stuff on him. All right, where am I going? I mean, it's just right here. Right? It seems like I might be able to just make it as long as I keep running over to the side. No? Okay, no, I need to go up the staircase. Once again, evasive maneuvers. Let's see if I can manage it. Ah, there's a save point right there. Well, at least I get to see the blue, guys here instead. They're the exact same, except they have a different element associated with them. I know. It's totally worth doing another battle purely for this, right? Okay. Enough of this. Let's just not bump up skills, get everybody broken, etc. and so on, and then smash them all with level 3 boost spells and kind of end this really quickly. Or I could even just take out some of the. Trying to remember the name of it. Soul stones to take them down very quickly. After all, it is a very easy way to kill enemies, even if it is quite limited. Can't buy those in stores, but you can steal them off of elemental enemies, which is really the easiest way to do that. Okay, do that. And then, although it's not... no, you do... Yeah, okay. No, you do get... yeah, I shouldn't forget that you do in fact get a... you do in fact get a sword to use if you are of the thief class. Yeah, nice. Okay, just do it. Because we should be able to beat him easy enough in the next round here.
I will cut you down.
Not worried about like getting the maximum amount of damage there. And you know what? Just because you can't really boost outside of battles, might as well. There's one of Ophelia's one of the really good skills that you get off of the cleric class, the ability to overheal yourself. Now you can only if you're already overhealed, you can't heal again. But if you just like throw on one really powerful heal, and of course one of the best ways to do that is by using the Olive of Life L, which is 9,999. So if Ophelia falls, I just use that on her, and she gets maximum health. It's a decent strategy, but does require you to have your characters die. You know. I actually got that as a secondary ability for a lot of the characters later in the game. Well, support skill, I think they call it specifically.
You just couldn't leave well enough alone, could you? You disappoint me, Cyrus. I took you for a more logical man.
Headmaster Yvonne, what do you intend to do with her?
The girl went poking around in my secrets. I fear she can't be allowed to live. And so I'll finish off teacher and student in one fell swoop.
You'll not lay a hand on my pupil. I'll see to that.
You seem terribly agitated, Cyrus. It's not good for the humors.
It's one of those blood crystals.
You will taste the power I summoned from the far reaches of hell!
Yeah! Of course, it's not like my favorite version of that. My favorite version of this, of course, is when the characters like just start flexing and like, you know, do incredible displays of strength. Like back in Persona 5 especially. But still pretty good. I'll say that.
I will cut you down!
I'm just saying that I want the headmaster to now pick up an entire bookcase and throw it at me. It's like, come on, you know. Okay. Anyway, there is... First thing, probably want to try and analyze everybody. Light, of course, and it's like demonic type of stuff. Sure, why not? But still gonna have to figure out what the weakness of everybody else is as well. I really don't want to use BP on everybody, but okay, that's easy enough. Obviously, take down the ads first, and then from that point, take down Yvonne. That's right, we're fighting Yvonne right now. He is not, in fact, the final boss of Cyrus's, well, the fun adventure into trying to find books.
Use this.
Which is kind of what I expected, but here we are. Okay, kind of want to get everybody down at the same time. Besides, I also want to get a little bit more BP here out too, so that's going to require a few different lightning blasts, and then kind of hopefully do that at the and get like all three of them down at the start of a turn. And that's at least the plan right now. Okay, warrior here. Yep, that actually works out just fine for me. Ow. I guess Ophelia's gonna actually have to spend most of her time doing... okay, I don't want to break them yet. I want to break them in the next round. Let's just... Energizing Pomegranate for you for a big hit. And then, alright. You... Should you light Soulstone or Thunder? Let's Thunder Soulstone. Because, like, yeah. And then I'll light on everybody. Yeah, this is probably the best way to do it.
Here I go! May the sacred flame shine forth!
And obviously, getting rid of the ads is a little bit more important, so hitting them with a big hit there was kind of the plan. Let's try and, yeah, take down those guys first. Pretty big hits, and then the entire next round is mine. I'll also be able to, like, double up on, oh, Never mind, I guess I don't need to double up on big BP hits as it turns out. Hey, and one more patience too. So I can just go for you.
I wreak havoc upon thee.
Not bad. Would have been better if I got the buff up and like the thief skill for armor corrode down. Well, anyway, not like I was going to be casting that at any point in time soon anyway.
The battle is truly joined.
No, could do that, but that's obviously not really super important. Critical damage with one bone. How much damage that do? Nothing. I should have just went with like the big multi-spear hit again. Would have been a way better option. Alright. I didn't see how much health he had. I should have looked at that. Same basic. Actually... no, let's go for a big hit. Should have probably just used a soul stone, really, but that's fine. He also has more vulnerabilities, though, which is kind of interesting. Okay, here, let's take a look. How you doing? 38,000, but now he's weak to fire. That is a common thing with like a lot of later enemies, where what they'll do is they'll suddenly decide to start like they'll get more hits that you need to do against their vulnerabilities. Nothing weak to right now, eh? Okay, we'll get more vulnerability type of stuff coming up here. Here. No, he's already going first, so I suppose he doesn't really need to defend. I'll do this.
Stand firm.
And then I can have him boost his defense, you know, kind of his special skill. Then be able to weather whatever big hits that are coming out here. He's fairly slow, all things considered, which is kind of surprising. Also in sight, just to make sure that he's also hitting Ulbrich every single time.
The battle is truly joined.
Fortunately, it's just, doesn't really have anything good for
Have a taste of this.
skills to use against him. That said, I mean, still got the soul stones. Okay, let's do this so then Ulbrich can do some real big hits coming up here. That's okay. I mean, he can still do big hits without casting spells after all. Oh, the funny thing is that I don't actually want to break him because it's more advantageous to break him in the next round instead. I get a lot more hits out of there because of that. So, what I can instead do is just boost BP. Get Cyrus to do like maximum damage later on then too. And this will actually work out a little bit better. I just like smack him a few. I was kind of hoping that'd do a little bit more damage. Not quite. So then that means Firestorm to take him down there. And now I get 2 more characters that can deal out some pretty big damage, especially with like this alone. Might even be able to take him out this round if possible. Still doesn't compare to you just using the Soul Stone. You'll just do that. Hey, you know what? It is, I got plenty of them. And really, you can just steal them from enemies, so why not? Yep, just same thing.
Try this on for size.
And just curious, because you can always kind of like tell 91%, that means I think he has like 86% health because it's a base level of... It's a base level of 5% or something like that. But yeah, he ain't going to be able to do too much past this point.
No.
Fortunately, Ulbrich still doesn't really have too much that he can do right now. Maybe just hit him a few times with a powerful... No.
My turn now.
It was a good try, didn't really work out in the way that I wanted to. So, let's get the divine skill that... Divine skill that Ophelia has is one of the best ones that I could use right now. We'll just Firestorm. One more Firestorm. And then one more Firestorm after that. fact, maybe I can just kind of like take him down by doing this right now. And then cast again. Still not enough. I think that's critical rate up, but that basically gives me a free turn, so whatever. I mean, a free turn on top of all the other free turns that I'm also about to get here. So, hey. Yeah, just whatever, hit him with that. Not as much damage as I would have wanted, but should have just ended up. I guess, no. Here, yeah, 100%. By the way, the steal that you only ever get from these characters is just like more of these refreshing jams, which are just your elixir type of stuff, so whatever. Not even gonna worry too much about that. There we go. Didn't hit the weakness, but that's not a big deal.
What in the...
Hey, that was pretty cool, right?
You have my gratitude.
Thank goodness.
Awake, are you?
Yes, Professor.
Cyrus. I must know what you saw and heard. You'll tell me, yes?
Yes, Professor. One day I heard the headmaster talking to someone in his office. I couldn't make out the other voice, but they were talking about you. They were saying they would see you dead. And so
You came all the way here to warn me.
Yes, Professor.
I see. Well, Cyrus. As your teacher, I must scold you for your most reckless and careless actions.
I understand, Professor.
But one thing is also clear. Were it not for your actions, I would have died in that dark pit. And so, as a man, I owe you a debt of gratitude. Thank you, Cyrus, from the bottom of my heart. But you must promise me one thing.
What is it, Professor?
In the future, pray consult someone you can trust before embarking on such a dangerous course of action.
I'm sorry, Professor, but I did learn from the best.
I suppose you did, didn't you?
Professor,
I must continue my journey, but I will send letters. Yes, I'll include assignments to keep your mind sharp.
I look forward to that, Professor.
But I think we've talked enough for the day. You should rest.
Wait, Professor! The headmaster. He said one more thing.
Hmm? What's this now?
He said that once you were out of the way, there was a place he would go.
Intriguing. And where might that be, pray tell? I appreciate your concern, but I will go there. I must. In a way, we are not so different, the headmaster and I.
Professor...
That unquenchable thirst for knowledge, bordering almost on obsession. And yet, our philosophies regarding the ultimate purpose of knowledge could not be more different. The headmaster used his position and prestige to hoard knowledge for his own foul ends. As an academic, I cannot forgive this. Knowledge is for one and all. We inherit the knowledge of our ancestors and pass it on to those who follow us. Only then is its true value realized. Headmaster Yvonne believed true knowledge should begin and end with him. He was wrong. Always remember this, Cyrus. Knowledge is a bounty to be shared by all.
A bounty?
The more of us that possess true knowledge, the richer we all become. Those who seek knowledge must never forget this. That is what I believe. And those who would use their knowledge for nefarious ends must be stopped.
So, it would be wrong of me to keep this to myself. The headmaster said he was headed to the town of Duskbarrow.
I see. Thank you, Cyrus. Do not worry. Your teacher will not make the same mistake twice. When I act, I will exercise due caution.
I can believe you this time?
Please do, my dear girl.
If you say so, then I shall see you when you return.
You have my word. I will arrange for someone to look after you until your strength returns.
And then, before heading out of town...
Duskbarrow. Whatever did the headmaster seek there? Judging from his transformation to that dreadful beast, the power he obtained was an unholy one indeed. Is it possible that the tome holds not only the secrets to death, but new forms of life? And yet, I find it hard to believe that transforming himself into a demon was the headmaster's ultimate goal. After all, did he not say he was betrayed? And the original copy of the tome is still nowhere to be found. So many questions remain. But now I know where I can find the answers. On to Duskbarrow, and whatever dark secrets await me there.
He would find his answers. But first he needs to back up just a few feet. And, you know, I could easily save that for the next episode, but... Yeah, he used the thing. Big, huge. Some monsters are created in laboratories? Wait, is that a thing? Huh. Guess that's something. There's not really a whole ton of laboratories that exist around here. Well, anyway, I could save it for the next episode, but I think I'm just going to do it right now. Kind of have everything very much prepped up like the rest of the series for the finale as well. And in fact, not just prepped up, but quite over-prepped, having done a lot of grinding to and getting of each one of the super special extra classes and everything like that. So maybe rather than just calling it here, let's return to the title screen and load up the save file for the finale. Why not? Kind of feel like going on here. So as you can see, like, the next one would be like this right here. And this is what I would use for, I don't know, you can see that for whatever reason I was using Ulbrich as a cleric. But I also made the save just in case I was going to do other stories in the same way. But oh, way down here. Let's get all the level 70 characters for the level 45 finale. Oh yeah, baby, let's do it. And then going right from, I guess, Flame's Grace was kind of the last place that I was at. That's probably the closest to Duskbarrow, way up here. So let's go from there, I suppose. And all the way back in the first episode, I did that just to see like where you would find Ophelia originally, but here this is. Oh, actually, I also have like one other character, Therian, because I was doing his quest line.
Come on, I've got better things to do.
That's very true, Therian, especially because, you know, even at this point, you're still a higher level than this stuff. You can kind of get like a good idea of what some of these super classes are when I, you know, get rid of everybody here.
Guides us true.
And Ophelia is now like the super mage, for example. Sorcerer. Each one of those things, each represent each one of the elemental abilities in the entire game. Hit 3 times, which is just incredibly, extremely powerful. Ulbrich is the Starseer, which is based around like locking in buffs, preventing enemies from getting buffs, like regeneration healing, sort of like an all-around support type of character when he's not able to do like his physical attacks like I was doing before. Cyrus is just a cleric now. I don't know. It's like the funny thing is that the Sorcerer, Ophelia's kind of taken over with Sorcerer for everything. And there are also 2 other, like, more physical-based classes, which I suppose I can see real quick here. The Rune Lord, which makes it so that each one of your physical attacks also does an elemental attack, too. And the Transfer Rune makes it so that buffs that you normally would only apply to yourself alone instead apply to the entire party. Pretty powerful. Requires a couple turns to set up, which is kind of frustrating. Why I haven't really been using them nearly as much. And War Master, who is just somebody who has all of the weapons all of the weapons, do all the weapons. But you can already see, even in that last, even in the last chapter, how things were kind of starting to like not be as powerful for Ulbrich, unfortunately. That's why, you know, the characters that used to be extremely powerful, like Cyrus and Ulbrich, are now kind of like sidelined to being support. I didn't know how to build these teams. Let's just say that right now. There's Tressa, who, while still would probably be very powerful, I have switched over to using Alphen with his whole... Yeah. Whatever. I think the problem with him was the fact that he was completely and totally unable... And I'm supposed to be in Flansgrace, by the way. Completely and totally unable to steal from stuff because he's supposed to be like level 40, and since he's not, then he needs to steal some item. Even though you'd think that I would just be able to like buy it off of them with like the 360,000 monies that I have right now. Well, whatever.
I've done my research on
Doesn't quite work like that. Alphen then is also a thief instead of one of the super classes, purely for the fact that there we go. Purely for the fact that I wanted to have the like steal SP ability. Because Ophelia goes through a lot of SP, and like the steal and share SP ability is really good at kind of counteracting that without using all of your items. Speaking of which, items not really super useful much anymore. They are mostly been replaced by just like actually dealing damage with my characters. After all, it's like if Sorcerer can hit 3 times, that's way more than any sort of like Soul Stone is going to be doing. Additionally, if you also have like the double cast ability from the Cleric, that's just all that more powerful without even adding any more SP, I believe.
Let us fight with honor.
All right. Once again, just like at this point in time, this is why it's just like I was trying to like rush through the boss fight, it felt, because so many battles that I've been in at this point in time have just been like this. I think the problem that I'm looking at here is that I don't actually have on like extra experience. You have to use that with the Blade Master, which is really good, but you know, takes obviously a very long time to get in the first place. Evasive maneuvers, come on. That's the LP ability. I was just saying that before. Ability to run through stuff without having to attack everything is pretty nice. Pretty real nice. But anyway, go through the beautiful yet also very obvious depth of field stuff that you see around these areas into Spooky Forest Town. That's right, Duskbarrow is firmly in the forested, but not just forested, scary forested area of the game. You're going all the way to the Westlands. That's kind of what you see. I think Cyrus is just like... a lot of people said they started out with him at the very beginning of the series, and I guess I can believe that. It's like he even starts in like the Plainslands, even though, I don't know, once again, I've had somebody else was saying that just like Ophelia would make sense as one of the main characters, because every one of the main characters apparently spells out Octopath, if you look at them. So it's just like, you know, Ophelia and Ulbrich would be some of the best candidates for being the main character here. Danger level 45, danger level nothing. Nothing's going to try to attack me. I mean, they'll try, but they'll fail and die. As you do. When I have this sort of incredible ability backing me up. But anyway, yeah, this is also, I believe, right underneath the Shrine of the Archmagus, which is where I got Ophelia's class in the first place.
Let us fight with honor.
All right, this is at least a little bit more appropriate in terms of abilities that I have. So it's all the warrior skills, but like, I don't know. I can also deal wind, light, and dark to foes. Like Star Song, for example, augments physical elemental speed as opposed to just like Stout Wall, which is just the user. Although with the Rune Lord, it's like you can actually get some pretty good stuff there. But yeah, just you know. These extra jobs are pretty powerful, and Ulbrich also gets this cool little hat. Look at the little hat he has. Tiny little miter type of thing.
Bring it on.
Anyway, Alphen's ability here, like I was saying, it's like you can just buy this from store, and then you can just use like Essence of Pomegranate, which from where I was grinding, you can see I've gotten a ton of, and then bam, everybody plus 2 BP. Easy as that. So it's like we can just go in here.
Here I go!
And yeah, that is the sort of thing that makes it that powerful, really. I have nothing that is going to be powerful enough with just like regular hits. So I guess just do this again. Why not? And I'll just go right back to the inn in the upcoming town, Duskbarrow, to make that entire thing work. And by the way, that extra experience passive that I get there, it is quite good. It is like an extra 30% or more experience. It's kind of amazing. All right, do a quick rest to get everybody's SP back. Going to be important if we're going up against what you could consider a final boss. At least one of them. And then all the way back down here. Not here? Somewhere around here. Where's the tavern? Is what I'm trying to say. Look, every single town has... Oh, here it is. Every single town has a tavern, after all. It was? Okay. I suppose that's the way to do it. Okay, let's get on with the story here. Still in pursuit of the Forbidden Tome. We come into the town for the first time. Definitely the first time. Never been in here before. I mean, the blood magic is also just kind of a big AoE type of deal. As it turns out. Yeah, it's not so different, him and I. Oh, he's dead.
Time to do some research.
I wonder if it's the big stone gate back there. Not quite a wooden sign, but they can't all be. Well, I mean, who else would it be? As always, well, as a common thing that tends to happen in the Final Fantasies, also happening here. You always get that secondary mad scientist type of character who turns out to be the real villain in the end. Happened in every one of the Final Fantasies I've played except for Final Fantasy 12, and even that one still was one of the final characters that you ended up fighting in the game.
What have we here?
Sure.
I see.
Well, I mean, you know. You, just gotta keep trying stuff out. Once again, Final Fantasy IX taught me that, right? Did I ever figure out that thing in the castle? Ah, whatever. No. Yes. Grab it with your hands or something. I don't know. You're the one that came up with the idea. I'm not the one like typing this into the. I'm not typing into the text prompt pull button. No. Twist it, obviously. Like, come on. This is clearly a very twistable object. I'm looking at it right now. I'm telling you. It has the look of something quite twistable. Ah, caution. Throw caution to the wind. We're just going to be pretty much dashing in there, trying to completely and totally destroy everything that we come across. Think you get a good idea of exactly who Elfin is from right here. Despite the fact that they have pretty much the same ability. They're so very different. They're not really not that different. I mean, you know, speaking of not being too different from each other, I would say that it's not like Cyrus is out there trying to win awards or whatever, after all. More books. A lot more books. Why in the ruins? Who knows? And that's right. The super powerful lanterns. I don't know why. Why the lanterns? Why the lanterns here? Nothing. It's all just like what? Physical attacks then? Sort of surprising.
Bring it on.
Seems like it at least. Well, anyway, I suppose God, what do I even want to use on stuff here? Oh yeah, another thing that that Apothecary has is cure single ally of all status ailments and render them immune, which is super good with everything else as well. Because a lot of the status ailments that exist in the game are really obnoxious. Ones like unconscious are just, you know, stun that will last for several turns, and several turns, you know, bosses usually have multiple hits that they get on you, so I thought so. Yeah, lightning being the opposite of wind and all that. Although this thing is just like Guardian Mark II. It's not even like a... come on.
Victory shall be mine.
Not even like a specific element or anything like that.
Have at you.
All right, keep smacking them. I have all the same abilities that I had on with the hunters. I have like the second hit and everything like that too, but didn't really come up there. I'd like to not use all of Ophelia's mana right now if I possibly can. If it means getting through this faster, though, I will. Where am I going? Can't quite say. I guess I'm actually going over to the right more. I thought I was going over to the left for some reason.
Aha!
I mean, after all, they didn't really have a scrutinized section for this, so I guess they decided to try and have Cyrus figure out something in this chapter. Wonder if this is supposed to be related to the... Yeah, I wonder if this is supposed to be related to, like, the optional super boss, the evil god, which I guess is, in fact, an evil god, I've heard, at the end of the game, so... Because otherwise, it doesn't really seem to have much to do with what everything else that is happening here right now. Gates and runes and everything like that.
What have we here?
As we've seen many of throughout the game. Of extremely identical looking bookcases.
It couldn't be. No.
It's Lucia. We all know this. Oh, what's the banter? Yes, extremely priceless. In fact, I don't really think it's probably a good idea to have, say, a final boss fight in the middle of all of these, but here we are. It almost seems as if, like, we shouldn't even be pursuing this person, but should instead just be gathering up as many of these books as possible and getting them out of town. As of right now, I don't think Lucia even knows that we're in the ruins for the time being.
Professor, you truly are every bit as brilliant as old Yvonne said.
I did not come here for false flattery.
Oh, but I was being quite sincere. A shame the purport eludes your grasp.
To think you were the one pulling the strings. The headmaster was merely your puppet all along.
Very astute. Yes, it was I who maneuvered to install him in that position in the first place. To my dismay, he had a willful streak that got in the way.
One might say the fault lies in the person who chose him for the task.
One might say that, yes. Now, let us proceed to the matter at hand. Your search for the original copy of From the Far Reaches of Hell has miraculously led you to me. In finding me, you have displayed some measure of knowledge and acumen. More than any, you have shown a pure and unrelenting passion for seeking out the truth. I hold that particular quality in the highest regard. What say you, Cyrus? Will you join me in my research?
Ridiculous. If that is a jape, it is a poor one.
A jape? What a curious reaction from a scholar like yourself. The wall paintings in this place, did they not pique your interest? Did your heart not race when you saw the countless lost tomes in my study?
To say I was not intrigued would be a lie.
Of course you were. Yes, any true scholar would feel the same. I must unravel these mysteries. I must have the answers. Your mind, no, your very soul burns with an all-consuming desire to know. That is what separates you from the rest, Cyrus. We are true seekers of knowledge, you and I. Together, we can unlock all the secrets behind our world.
I'll pass.
How can you refuse? You covet the mysteries of the universe. You yearn to know the truth. Surely you can stand shoulder to shoulder with me.
That's it exactly.
What? What is it?
Surely you. I take issue with your solicitation. You don't care who you use in your schemes. What of Headmaster Yvonne?
Don't be ridiculous. He was devoid of the passion you have. He was nothing but a pawn to the end, incapable of envisioning an ultimate goal.
On what grounds do you base that assumption? Can a man not grow his mind? If you found him wanting, why did you not teach him?
Teach him?
Take him on as your pupil. Impart your vast knowledge, that he might one day be your peer.
Preposterous. You speak the impossible. Mediocrity is as mediocrity does. Knowledgeable as he was, his own actions prevented him from ever approaching genius. A genius such as yourself must understand this.
There's where you and I differ. I haven't given up on mediocrity. As scholars, we learn from the past to better understand the present and pass our knowledge on to the future. What do you mean to do with the knowledge you amass? The secrets you unravel? Carry them to your grave, content they are inscrutable to all who do not possess your genius? you would call them simpletons, fools, feeble minds. I say it is you who lacks the ability to teach and inspire. A true scholar does not look down on others for what they do or do not know. Those who know impart knowledge to those who do not. If something is wrong, those who know the answer correct it. The process repeats, bringing us closer and closer to enlightenment. I teach my students with the expectation that one day they will surpass me. I long for the day when I will have the chance to learn from them.
Enough! I've given you plenty of opportunities to make a move. Any move. But clearly we are going nowhere fast. If you would rather die without discovering the truth, so be it. I have already synthesized a perfect blood crystal, precisely as detailed in the original tome. With it, I will cast off the shackles of humanity. A human can only learn so much in its short lifetime. I will gain the time, the power, to understand everything. You may be a fool, but to show no hard feelings, you can participate in an empirical analysis of my newfound power.
If believing in the future makes one a fool, then call me a proud fool. But know this, when I emerge victorious, I will unravel the secrets of that tome and arrive at my own answer. Let this be a lesson to you. The future of mankind is bright. I cannot fail.
That is a lot of vulnerability. Also, I do like that the story, you know, unlike fighting an evil god or whatever, just kind of comes down to elitism. Like, hey, come on, man. Like, believe in other people more. Anyway. Okay, do that one real quick. Just make sure that I'm not going to be losing anything. Yeah, physical stuff right there. Kind of what I expected, but I think analysis of a lot of this is going to be most important. 83,000? Not even that terrible. Obviously, pomegranate just all the time forever to try and get as many big boy casts out here as I possibly can. Then I'm betting. Yep.
Victory shall be mine.
And it should be extremely easy to just kind of continuously do that same thing over and over.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
I should just do regular hits, to be honest. But I want to kind of preserve the BP for right now. Here, in the meantime, let's just get the rest of the analysis here. It's just all physical. That's frustrating. I didn't realize it was going to be that sort of deal. But I suppose I still do have the ability to do stuff like this that should make it nice and easy once I do get the vulnerability to then exploit that as much as possible. For now, though, heal and then rely on probably Ulberic to take out the rest of the like health stuff. Yeah, like I was saying, everybody now has on. Well, except for Alphen, I suppose. I didn't actually get him to. Okay, Alphen, I didn't actually get him to do the. The heal over maximum thing. Would have been pretty useful. Yeah, just keep going for it, I suppose. Not bad, not bad. Oh, come on, really?
All right.
Okay, well, anyway.
Try this.
But then healing over maximum does that.
Well then,
The only problem is that it doesn't really retain the BP then, which is kind of the problem that I'm looking at here. I'll just keep going for more elemental break. Make sure that when I do get the ability to use elements, that I'm going to be able to use all of them possible. I mean, Reflective Veil is not going to do all that good. That's the ridiculous thing.
bring about a miracle of healing.
Sure.
How about you?
All right. Now I think it's actually kind of worthwhile to do this. I'm almost there. Hey, my BP.
Here goes
I
nothing.
mean, I didn't have any, but still. What if I did?
Try this.
Hey.
Now, what next?
Oh, what to do?
Now the true lesson begins.
It's like, that would be good, but I don't know if I want to do that just yet. I don't know, maybe what I'll end up doing is I'll just like, sort of don't have a ton of SP here. Trying to prep up for the vulnerability part already, but that is taking quite a while to get there, needless to say.
Now, what next?
And what next is that we are going to, I don't know, I suppose heal more as well.
Miracle like no other.
All right.
And then, yeah, just like regular hits here, I suppose. There we go. Jeez.
I'll not be defeated.
Not ideal, but like I still have on a ton of vulnerability, so. All right, there's 30% of the health down.
Focus is unparalleled.
Here, you know what? Actually, no. Oh, I should have gone with the one that allowed her to cast multiple times. However, I can still do that in like the next round here, I suppose.
Try this.
Old Brick, at the very least, then also has his own elemental attack to do as well. Not bad. Hopefully it's not all 30. Okay. And now it's like... It's changed, but I suppose that's probably a good thing. Not ideal, though. Just do it.
Try this.
Get everybody up to maximum here. That'll make it that much easier than to 51,000, and now it's all elements. Okay. To be expected. Yeah, don't even bother with that. Well, everything except for dark element, because I guess demons? You know, demons like demons. Well, here, boosting this is probably not even a bad idea right now. Oh yeah, no, it's actually not a bad idea at all. Even through the non-vulnerability. No, that'll work.
I'll not be defeated.
It is just too bad that I wasn't able to do the double cast as well. Oh, that was it. Man. Okay, I guess, yeah, I was very over-prepared. No surprise.
No. There was
Still say we probably shouldn't have done that in the middle of all the books, but I mean, whatever. Like, look at the amount in the background here as well.
Oh.
Hooray! I mean, I think that there's more important things that have been happening than just this at this point in time. 2. I mean, I guess we can. I don't know. You got like a lot of work ahead of you hauling all these tomes out of the old moldering manor that is open to the forest here, by the way. Just gonna say. Neat. So, just getting like a lot of lore here? Because I've done like a few different, ends of different characters, and haven't really had like, you know, something that is just apparently just straight up a, a lore dump right at the end here. Likened to a golden fruit. I mean, a golden fruit would be inedible. So I don't know what you're talking about, but sure. Is this actually how you start up, like, the Beat Evil God quest? I don't actually know. There you are. Okay, so that does have a little bit more meaning here than I was expecting. Really? We're still doing the...
Feel a thing.
We're doing the, we're still doing the fights. I kind of thought that, being the end of the chapter and after beating the final boss, that we weren't really going to have another one of those sort of things going on here. But here we are. Not even going to fight him. Just going to run away. I'm like, look, I want to see where this is going. Like I said, it's probably just related to the evil god thing, but you know. Which is the obvious sort of expectation right now. And one more. Wait, give me a second. Okay, I got it. The mural's meaning. I mean, it's going to take a while to really decipher exactly like the nuances of it, but I think I get the basics of it. Sealed power away. Sealed power away, yeah. It was the power of life and death, right?
But of course.
Yep. No. Could be metaphorical. Well, okay, anyway.
But of course.
Deep,
Indeed.
meaningful choices. But I mean, this certainly is. Really? I feel like the person that created this long ago had a very clear mission of just like, like I don't think that people put up like the caution high voltage signs are like, yes, truly this is a warning to the future about the knowledge about knowledge being neither good or evil, but just those who wield it. I'm pretty sure they just don't want you to touch the generator.
Not exactly. Thusly,
At least take it out of the humid forest that's also haunted.
Yes.
Which, I mean, would probably be if I chose to do it right now, in fact. Also, maybe tell them that the headmaster is dead. Might be an important thing to bring up. You don't have to necessarily say that you killed him. In fact, you really should not say that. But I mean, at least let him know. That was the first boss in Ulbrich's storyline. That was also the start of Ulbrich's storyline. Yeah, I really think that he was... I don't know, I actually think that was Tressa. Looked similar, though. That was the first boss of Tressa's storyline. I remember that. Look, as long as we don't suddenly have, like, lyrics coming into this song, think we can keep it on for right now. Every single time I play a Square Enix game, I'm always just on the lookout for that. Because every single time I play any one of these games, I feel like it's about to turn from a copyright claim into a copyright strike. Hasn't happened yet. I wonder if these are actually the battles. I mean, considering they're dressed like Ophelia there was a thief, and for a while there I had Ulbrich being a cleric. I can't believe the game kept track of that just to show it during the credits here. Because yeah, I did go around doing quite a few of the storylines. It seems like they kept track of who you had in your party, what class they were, and probably what like the final blow you did against each one of these bosses was. Which I suppose is kind of neat. Not that it's like, you know, you got to see that on camera here for a lot of these. It's like Primrose didn't even appear in like the videos at all. I had no idea what I was doing for like each one of the classes that I was giving these characters. Yeah, the evil apothecary. Didn't really get to see her. You can see how powerful, though, Ulbrich and the physical attacks were in a lot of the fights that I'm doing here. Considering Ulbrich just doing the divine skill over and over against these bosses to take them out. The amount of time, and the amount of times that also characters were affected by status effects as well. And the way that the fourth character that I had to bring in, but they weren't, nearly as leveled up, were also unconscious most of the time. I guess I killed the big boss prior to killing one of the ads in that fight? I don't even remember. But that must have been what happened there. Yeah, there's the really powerful merchant ability, which is fun. You just summon in 4 strikers to do a couple big attacks on whatever you're fighting. It's actually quite powerful, but it does cost like 30,000 gold monies every time you do it. So if I didn't do this many storylines before finishing Cyrus, would like, what would the credits look like? Would they just be nothing for the most part? Speaking of which, are the credits repeating? I guess I haven't really even been paying attention to that. To make sure that they're able to fill the full time here. Yeah, kind of an interesting thing. The final boss of the Hunter's Quest is clearly one of the same demons that I was fighting, created from the blood crystals here. Good tie between the storylines. Might see that at some point in time if I end up doing the rest of the stories for each one of the characters. Think of this as like a preview for what might be coming. But for right now, the plan was still just to end up doing Cyrus' storyline, so. See what happens in the future, I suppose. Oh yeah, and I guess I do just run out of B-roll footage.
Professor!
Over here, Therese.
That stack of books seems to get bigger every time I see you.
And I'll need twice again as many to have any hope of translating this ancient tome.
Twice as many?
Fascinating, is it not? A traditional fairy tale from a certain region mentioned a gate of sorts. And I could not help but notice a parallel to the mural I found.
I see. Hence, these books on local folklore?
Just so. Considering your subject from all possible angles is a fundamental principle of scholarly research. But I forget myself. Might I surmise that you've come here to inform me that it's time for class?
Yes.
You're late, Professor.
Pray forgive me, Your Highness. Very well then, my students. Let us begin. To quote the words of one Susanna Grotoff, author of Knowledge is Light. The pursuit of knowledge is a journey with no destination. As long as people live, there is always something to learn. And so we learn, we record, we speak. Points connect, thus forming our history, our agency, our identity. This world we live in is not for or of any one individual, and neither is knowledge. And so I write and speak of all that I learned. To plant seeds of knowledge that will be harvested by those who follow me. To you who have found my writings, read well these words, that they may help you build a bridge to a brighter future.